Thank you very much, Jim, and ladies and gentlemen. We're not used to getting medals in Springfield recently, so this is kind of a new feeling. I'm delighted to be here under the auspices of the Pioneer Institute and to have the opportunity to meet with such distinguished men and women. Jim has kind of told you a little bit about me and some of the facts of our demise and then our recovery, and the lessons to be learned from that. And I certainly am not going to repeat them. I will say that I didn't get here tonight by a conventional career plan. I was sworn into the Massachusetts Bar in November of 1951 and had a full life as a lawyer. And I thought I was retiring around 2002 and 2003, something like that, and kind of did. We have a large family and a lot of fun and a lot of great things to do. But it became apparent from reading the daily newspapers that the city was really entering into a fairly profound collapse. And at the same time, they decided to close a few of the libraries, and I went to a meeting. I probably shouldn't have gone. It was a snowy night, and I ended up being nominated for something in that meeting. One thing led to another. 3 months later, we turned the library situation around, and people said, "You ought to run for mayor again." And so I spent the month of June 2003 deciding, and on July 1, 2003, said, "Well, okay, I will run." Governor, how are you? My golly. So I did, and I won. I knew things were bad, but it wasn't until I got in there that it was the old Mother Hubbard story. The cupboard was bare, really bare. They had taken the cupboard away, and we had a deficit of $41 million. Governor Romney and the legislature, unanimously in both houses, decided that this called for radical surgery, and so they passed a bill which would bring in a control board. Governor Romney appointed 3 outstanding men: Alan Lebovich, who is here tonight, Tom Gloster, and Tom Tremarco, and Jake Jacobson. Tom Tremarco left halfway through to become Secretary of A&F. They were wonderful men, and also a wonderful staff with Phil Puccia, David Panagore, and Steve Lazakis. In the meantime, in Springfield, we had been trying to take what was, for the large measure, incompetent leadership on our department heads and really replace it with people with a different way of life or a different experience or a different determination to do something. And I would say that today, and I guess I kind of know, that this is probably the best, by far the best management that the city of Springfield has enjoyed in 50 years. And frankly, I think that as we go day by day, that it's as good a management as you're going to find any place in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Now, it's a rare opportunity. I never thought this would happen to me, but I'm the happiest guy in Massachusetts. I hate to tell you how old I am, but when I was elected, I was 76, and that was 4 years ago. And it's a funny feeling to be doing the same job 40 to 45 years after you did it before, and all the people you did it with the first time are all gone. They're all gone. Just Joan and me are still here, and Barbara Garvey. And but by the same token, it is worth doing. And so there's a whole new crowd of people, certainly with the planning, with the control board staff, and the men and women who have come in on a department head level or a deputy level who believe in what we're trying to do. You know, I never thought Don Quixote was as funny as people think he is. I mean, I thought Don Quixote had it right, that there is a responsibility to help the underprivileged, that there is nobility in public service. And really that is what stimulated me to come back 3.5 years ago. And I am thrilled with the progress that we've made. You can look at the statistics outside. That's really kind of the part of the story that is just kind of bragging, and you're not supposed to brag. I think the important thing is that, and I used to say to Val Patrick when he was running, and I said it to Chris Gabrielli when he was running, We need a champion. We need a champion because we're 100 miles away from the hub. And it's easy to kind of not know we're there. We need a champion. And now I've hit the quinella. I've got two champions. I do have Governor Patrick, and I do have Chris Gabrielli, who's going to be the new chairman of the control board starting the day after tomorrow. And so these men who believe in this city and who have seen this city and who understand our problems and our demographics and our poverty and our opportunity and our potential have signed on. This Partnership Act of the Governor, I said yesterday at a legislative committee meeting that it is the first time in 20 years that anybody on Beacon Hill has written a piece of legislation for cities and towns that indicated that they knew what the problems were. And you can't travel the Commonwealth to become the governor unless you expose yourself to the mayors and the selectmen all over this Commonwealth. And the problems are similar, from small towns to big cities. And so to take the leadership and the pulpit of the governor's office and to use it and to build upon it is good news for all of us. So I'm enormously optimistic. We have the team in place. We know where we want to go. There is a rebuild of confidence in our community. There is private investment in the hundreds of millions of dollars because of the fact that the crooks are gone. 40 of them were indicted and convicted. They're gone. And it's important that we succeed, not only for the 150,000 people who live in Springfield, but the 500,000 people who look upon it as the way to the living, but also because of the fact that Worcester and New Bedford and Lawrence and Lowell and all of our other great cities really deserve the kind of a rebirth that the city of Boston has experienced. You are so lucky, so fortunate to have this. And I just want to end by saying that, Jim, you hit it right on the nose. It is leadership. And without leadership, you die, you wither. And when you have governors in Connecticut going to jail and mayors in several significant New England cities going to jail, don't they understand what the public trust is? Don't they understand a fiduciary responsibility? And so this really is where we are. It is caught up in one word, and that is that we are responsible. And so it's a thrill for an old man to come back and to really play a role as we bring new populations, new demographics, new entities, new ethnic groups into our city and give them a fair shot at a city that can work, a city that can be successful, a city that they'll be proud to call home. God bless you and thank you.